Hello and welcome to Mini Blocks Unbox. Today we're looking at the Assassin's Creed Syndicate Big Ben Edition Ubisoft exclusive. You can only buy them through Ubisoft's own Ubisoft. This was, I believe, £120. It's quite expensive. They have gotten increasingly more expensive year on year, on average. Last couple of years has been around the same. I am somewhat of a sucker for collector's editions. You might have figured it out by watching my Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain collector's edition unboxing. I don't know what it is. I don't even play games anymore. Well, I do. I also don't, you know. I just don't get around to doing it. But I do, in my mind, I've played this. That's quite a lot, right? Admittedly, not all of them are from the games. Obviously, they're from the games. I mean, they're not from the collector's editions. It started with this guy, Altair. He was only £70, I believe, back in 2007 for the game and for the statue, which at the time was pretty unique, really. They didn't really do big collector editions, statues and memorabilia and things as a game collection, you know. It's increasingly got bigger and bigger and bigger and more elaborate, like a giant ship front. And now they've got sort of a case with £120, but other games I wouldn't even spend more than £100 on them. It depends my attachment to the game versus what's content to the collector's edition. But Assassin's Creed usually, year on year, offer enough content to make it feel like, well, actually, collectively, you're getting a pretty good deal. It's Assassin's Creed. It's a big box. It's quite nice. It's got fancy little details on it. Big clock on the front, Big Ben collector's edition. This game's set in London. That's what it is. I'm going to admit something here. I had a sneaky peek at how this thing opened purely because how the hell does that open, right? It opens it opens. I think it's magnetic. And by I think it's magnetic, it's magnetic. Pop it open. And it opens up like so. I can't actually see what's in there because it's facing the camera. As a statue, yeah, it's impressive. It's big, it's cool, it's all clockworky, it's kind of steampunk-ish, I guess is kind of what they're going for with all the cogs and the setting and the sort of Victorian London. It's pretty big. The box is good. It actually opens up to let you see the insides of the statue, which of course is the most important part. But realistically, is it the most important part? Because down here is a drawer. And you pull this drawer out like a drawer, like a regular drawer, like any other kind of drawer. But this is an Assassin's Creed drawer. Should have mentioned the fact that this is actually the game, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, PS4. This is a special edition because it includes the Darwin and Dickens conspiracy mission. Were Darwin and Dickens romantically entwined? Conspiracy? That's quite good. This is the print. Big Ben Collector's Case. Thank you for being one of our most loyal fans. No problem. The Big Ben Collector's Case is the ultimate edition for Assassin's Creed Syndicate. This product was built thanks to your enthusiasm and passion with the utmost case and attention. Probably says care. There you go. Number 10,925. Yes, I had to pause to take in the magnitude of that. Who was number one? Is there such a thing as number one? I think that's just a random number. I would do the same. This is the print they put up on the website prior to it being released. You could pick from multiple different things to be made as a print that came in the collector's case. Honestly, I don't remember what they were, and I can't remember which one I voted for. I like it. It looks like a really fancy placemat. As has become commonplace in a lot of collector's editions, is the steelbook case. I am a sucker for steelbook cases, and that is a very hefty steelbook case. It's quite nice. It's all sort of antique-y looking and very pewter-based and galvanized metal. It's not though. It's steel, but it's not that either, is it? Let's be honest. But it's really funky. I like it an awful lot. I like the fact that they cover this in special edition because it just makes you want to put it inside this case even more, which makes my job easier. Just make sure that the actual pamphlets and the booklets and whatever else you're going to put in here fit. Because when they don't fit and they flop forward, that's really annoying, you know? I could just not put them in there. But then what's the point? What is the point of having a case if I can't put everything in it? It's contents. Contents is what matters. I pay for cases because I'm anti-digital. That's not true. Pro-digital. But I will still buy it on disc. Because that's mentality. And also display. And I like display. Inside of the case, I'll probably do a little spin around so you can see it better. I'm not even going to pretend to tell you anything historically about it because I'm going to get it wrong. And then that's just going to make me look really, really stupid, right? Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Pro-liquor, pro-drinking, pro-alcoholism, prohibition. It's all pro. Hip flask, right? Who doesn't want a hip flask? Assassin's Creed Syndicate, London Rooks. I like it. I like it a lot. That's quite funky. It's actually a fully functional, used hip flask. I made the used part up. I just opened it out of the packet, right? Everyone saw that. It's nice, leathery feel. Is it leather? Nope, not leather at all. But it is a hip flask. It's a hip flask, I guess. It's cool, I like it, useful, not particularly. Am I going to display it? Probably not. I'm probably just going to put it back in the box and put the box on the shelf and then never look at it again. Because that's what you do with most of the things that come in a collector's edition. But you get them, and that's kind of cool. Aside from Assassin's Creed Unity that released last year, came with a little music box. Anyone else like the little music box? I really like the music box. That went on display because it's a music box. It's functional. In fact, there's a very similar theme, keeping like an antique-y kind of steampunky kind of trend. And that's good, right? Here's inside the box. Again, keeping the same theme. London Rocks, same as the hip flask. Again, galvanized kind of pewter-looking cover. It's obviously, it's a book. Don't get it, it's not metal. I finally understand what the London Rocks is. It's a bird, like the ruck. The art books for Assassin's Creed are usually pretty nifty. But the landscapes are particularly stunning. As someone that came from an animation and graphic design, illustrative sort of background, I really appreciate concept art and particularly landscape concept art. I think it's awesome stuff. And I love how it is actually brought to life through the game as well. Very detailed and accurately. Hell of a talent, you know? I'm not that talented. I just make dumb videos looking at it. The Metal Gear Solid 5 Collector's Edition, I said that came with a map, and like every other map in the game, I'm going to fold it back up, put it inside the case, and never look at it again. This is probably the same, although this is probably the same, although instantly it's parchment level paper. It's obviously not parchment, it's still paper, but it's got a hell of a cool, it's got a really nice texture to it. It's very expensive quality feeling paper, and obviously it's done in that kind of style to give it that sort of old-fashioned parchment look, which honestly is very appealing, and I like that much better in a map than just glossy, thin paper, because it feels like it's going to tear, and that's the point. That is something that you could display, you could frame that, you know? It looks the part, it looks really good and really authentic. You know how I said that usually Assassin's Creed Collector's Editions come with something in it that makes you feel like it's worth every single penny? I feel like I finally met my match. I hate DLC. I hate the fact that DLC is like you're going to get some extra value out of it. It's downloadable content. It's not physical. I like the fact that you're going to give me more missions, but I kind of feel like if I'm pre-ordering your game or I'm going to just buy your game brand new, A lot of the times you're going to get DLC content or as extra content just anyway. So it's like, is that really an incentive for me to buy this? This doesn't, the DLC is irrelevant. I'll happily have it, but it's kind of like I can just buy it new and it just comes with the game anyway. Obviously it doesn't, you got to buy the special edition, but I don't feel like it's got a money value to it, because if it wasn't there, I wouldn't seek out and pay for it unless it was something exceptional. The only time I've bought DLC is Mass Effect 2, because that game was kind of exceptional, Assassin's Creed, I've played a ton of DLC, I've never paid for any of it though. I've always bought it and it's always come with it, so it's kind of like, that isn't cash to me, that isn't, my £120 is being redeemed through downloadable content. And we're back. A couple of things that have actually come to my attention then. Realization here. Checking out the footage, I realized it stopped, and then I realized I got a really shiny bit of light on my forehead, which is fabulously flattering, which is another name for a YouTube channel. I have a really big LED panel light. It's actually really good because, considering the fact that I don't have any other lights in this room apart from a really dull tube light at the other end and a massive LED panel, this lighting is actually pretty good, right? I usually have 2 lights as well as this light, but in actuality this one works really, really well. Point number 1. Point number 2. Let's point a word. Point a word. Realizations. I've taken the inside packaging out of that because I figured that you can actually see inside the box a bit better. I'll show that to you. I realized that this clock comes off the front. Look at that. That's quite good. I'm very impressed with simple things. Giant cardboard magnetic clock face is one of them. This just slots back into place like magic, or like magnet, which is magnetic magic. Point number 3, I realized quickly that there's not a lot of stuff in this collector's edition that makes it feel like it's worth my money. And then I had this little thing called realization, where it was, they always come with the soundtrack. Where the hell is my soundtrack? The thing's falling out of the box. I've just watched Ubisoft's own exclusive unboxing. The soundtrack is placed on top of this, inside this little compartment underneath the steelbook. I have video footage, thankfully, of me opening everything up. There is no soundtrack in here. Cheers, Ubisoft. Wonderful. Yeah, I'd spend £35 on the statue easily. I'd easily buy the game brand new, so £40, £45. Steelbooks, I always love them. You can easily add another £5 to the collector's edition. I'll buy it because of the steelbook. This, I'm not going to use really for much purposes. I like them a lot as like cool little additions inside the game. I'll probably put it on display eventually. I don't really know. I'm glad it's there though. So if it was an extra £10 to get the random hit flask I don't need, and the steelbook case, I'd easily do that. The art book I feel is kind of going to be thrown in for the same reason, but if you put the art book and the map and the lithograph together for another £5, I would stretch to that. So all in all, math time, 40, 75, 80, 85. Yeah, you could easily get £90 out of that. And then soundtrack, I'm happy to pay 10 quid for a soundtrack. So you're about £100 value. It's £120, I guess. So I guess technically I've overpaid. As long as you don't go ridiculous with it, Ubisoft, I will continue to buy them, right? If you start getting to £130, £140, I think that's time to start considering the relevancy of these purchases. But yeah, I mean, for the Metal Gear one, let's be honest, I called the game 50 quid because it retails around 45 to 49 pounds. So yeah, you're usually already at 100 and 110, really at a push. So £10 extra is probably missing. It's probably missing, to be fair. Yeah, I think you get into the borderline of what people are going to be prepared to pay for it, and I think I'm already kind of hitting that level. But if you do things like this, that's worth £120 to me. And also Black Flag as a game is worth £120 to me. I'm going to very much enjoy getting into Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Hope you enjoyed my unboxing video. I hope you enjoyed the fact that I didn't get a soundtrack inside my box. That is very, very bizarre, actually. That's very strange. Yeah, cheers. If you like my video, do check out my channel. It's Mini Blocks on YouTube, youtube.com/Mini Blocks. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter, Mini Blocks, or Mini-Blocks. Both work, doesn't really matter. Anything you can do that help me out would be fantastic. So you can like it, you can comment, you can share, and you can subscribe. Check out my videos. I'm usually just unboxing toys and talking about toys and showcasing toys and plushies, and it's usually comic book related because I'm a nerd. And there you are. If there's anything in particular that you'd like me to do, then just hit me up, let me know, and I'll look into it for you. So thank you very much for watching my video. Please do help out my channel, and if you're feeling really generous, please do let Ubisoft know that they forgot to put the soundtrack inside my game box for this edition. As has become common tradition with a lot of steelbooks. Really? As has become common tradition with a lot of collections. Nope. As has become itchy.